welcome back. So I decided that I wanted to make a hooded crochet shawl. So basically I just typed that into Google and started seeing what I could come up with for as far as like inspiration or like what I wanted it to look like or just what to do to start, right? And somewhere along my Googling, I came across the term triangle shawl and started looking at triangle shawls, which is where I came across this picture specifically. And this is basically where I got the idea that I was going to make a triangle shawl with a hood, but I was going to do it in an alternate, much foreshadowing, easier way. So let me show you what I did. So this is the yarn that I'm working with to start. I love this lavender color. This is so great. I've really been wanting to use this, and I think this is the perfect thing to use it with. And I want to have like an accent color of black with it. But I don't think this is enough. I want to make quite a long shawl, scarf, whatever you're calling it. So that's where this comes in, which this is very, very different size of yarn. So we're going to have to figure out, like, we're going to have to alternate. Maybe we'll do like a different stitch with the one yarn than the other or something. So I started by just chaining. So here's the thing is I'm not actually going to make a triangle shawl the way that it's supposed to be done. I don't want this project to become overwhelming. I already have to learn how to make the hood. I don't want to have to learn how to do this too. So I'm going to do this in a way that I already know how to do it. I'm going to just do like a decreasing stitch and make 2 triangles and stitch them together down the middle. So basically what I've done is in this photo right here, this is like what gave me the idea to do this. The middle of her, like, the part that hangs vertically is just a little bit longer than from her fingertips to the middle of her back. So I made mine just a little bit longer than from my fingertips to the middle of my back. For me, that was chaining 120 chains. And then I'm going to go back in the other direction with a double stitch. And then I did realize in hindsight, I didn't actually show the stitches that I'm doing. This isn't necessarily a tutorial. I'm not one that you should learn from. As I say in the video a million times, I'm a beginner. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm experimenting, all of those things, right? But I do want to, just like for the sake of thoroughness, and I guess if you are trying to follow along, show you the stitches. So let me show you the double stitch. You can see how it's starting to decrease. Eventually, if we keep going, we're gonna make a triangle. So I did 10 rows of the purple, and then I was gonna do like 5 rows of these. No matter what stitch I do, I just hate it. I don't like working with this. I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it feels. I'm ditching this this yarn altogether. I decided to just go with the black yarn. I did 5 rows of an offset mesh. And same here, let's cut away quickly and I'll show you how I'm doing the offset mesh stitch. And then I'm going to return to the purple. I want just a little bit of black, like black accents throughout a purple shawl. So I made the full triangle. I did 10 rows of double stitch, 5 rows of offset mesh, 10, 5, and then just finished off the tip of the triangle. And then I did all of that again to make a second one. And as you can see, this is not exactly the straight line that I was supposed to be straight across here, right? I'm assuming what I did here was just make it, basically I just chained too short, right? Because if like this were a little longer and then this were a little longer, it would have straightened out. I definitely could see out the shape of the first one. I was like, I don't think that that's gonna make the right shape, but I just decided to press on and deal with that later if it became an issue. So now we're at the place where it has in fact become an issue, and I gotta fix it. So in order to solve that problem, I just created a third one. However, in doing so, I accidentally created myself another problem. I accidentally chained 124 on this one, whereas I only chained 120 on the other ones. I genuinely don't know how that happened. So we ended up a little like big and long for the third one. So I'm fixing that by, I'm just going to literally put this in the middle. Luckily, like all of my striping will still line up and everything. And we've just got this little tail up here. But because I'm going to put a hood right here anyways, I feel like we can hide my mistake well enough. So next, I'm just going to start connecting. I'm just going to take my yarn needle and start sewing up these two. For the hood, I wanted it like kind of big and oversized as much as possible. So essentially, I just chained long enough that when I laid it over my head, it reached to the bottom of the like top purple section with some, you know, some spare, of course, because I want it baggy. And then I've also just used the same technique with the decreasing. I started decreasing by 1 stitch each row at first, but realized that was, like, I did the math and that was going to be 80 something rows, 70 something rows. So I started decreasing by 3 stitches each row. That way I could get about 30. I ended up doing 32 here. The black in the middle was not an intentional design choice. I'm just running really low on the purple, and I didn't think that I would have enough to do all 30 rows with only the purple. So I ended up doing 12 in black, and then I did end up having enough for another 10 when I didn't think I would. So I actually ended up with 32 rows total when I chained 136 to start. This picture from Lovable Loops is the inspiration for my hood. She has a full pattern you can follow for a beginner hood. I definitely looked over her website and pattern and kind of took the gist of it. I'm not going to follow her pattern step by step. Obviously, I'm like decreasing and doing things differently from hers. But I just want to shout her out because she gave me basically like the idea and the gist of what I'm doing here. Okay, going into this, I thought I was making this easier on myself by not following the pattern and doing it this way that I had in my head. I think I'm making it a lot harder by not just following a pattern. This hood, I made it too many rows. I'm going to basically just remove this entire purple section and connect the black there. Okay, the hood is looking way better like that. It fits a lot better too. It doesn't hang awkwardly down the back. Next, down the front little part that hangs, you know, down the front of me, I want to just put a border on this little edge just to neaten it up. I'm going to follow this tutorial by YHN Fiber Co. to do so. And with that, we have a wearable shawl. That actually was so much work, but oh man, am I pleased with it. The hood turned out pretty good. Actually, I wanted it, like I said, very oversized, and that's exactly what it ended up being. It's like being wrapped in a blanket. I love it. A few things that I'm not quite done with yet. I ordered a slightly larger than this black button. This was just so I could wear it this weekend. But I think it definitely needs a large black button to connect in the front there. And then the other couple of things that I'm thinking of doing, it would actually be pretty cool to get a lavender or maybe a black fabric and line the inside of this. I did make this out of acrylic, so my skin's pretty sensitive to it. If I want to wear this with short sleeves, I might want to put a lining in there. Even when I had this like on my skin the whole time I was crocheting it, it wasn't a problem, but I've had problems with like synthetic yarns or acrylic yarns in the past. And the other thing that would be really cool to do would be to line this hood in some sort of faux fur. I don't have any of those materials though. That's kind of the thing. That's why we're going to wrap up this video here and we're going to call this done, because we do have like a wearable crochet shawl. And I will work on basically sourcing those materials. Like, I'm not going to buy them. I'm going to try to just find them in thrift stores. So it's kind of just like whenever I find the right thing at the right place for the right price, then we can go ahead with that. So we'll see how that ends up turning out, but I love it. Like I said, I did wear it out this weekend and absolutely warm and comfortable, and I was getting so many compliments on it, which was just nice. Everyone was asking me if I had like a crochet shop. I'm like, girl, no, I'm fooling you with this. Like, this makes it look like I know what I'm doing. Like, this makes it look like I can crochet. Maybe not even to crocheters, but to people who don't, I don't know, but to the people I was with this weekend anyways. But I'm so pleased with it. I'm happy I did this. I'm glad you were here to watch. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the little thumbs up down below. Subscribe while you're hanging out down there. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.